Have you ever set a big goal for yourself thinking that it was going to bring satisfaction and happiness into your life, only to not feel any of the satisfaction that you thought you would get from it once you finally achieved it? That's because the goal that you set for yourself was meaningless. Here's why. A lot of our goals are based off of external factors, like get 10,000 followers on Instagram, save up for the latest camera equipment, get clients that pay higher budgets. These are goals that are based off of external validation, goals that have a finite existence, goals that we don't have 100% control over. And the mistake that we often make is that we measure ourselves based off of the completion of these goals. Measuring yourself through external validation is measuring your self-worth through things that are outside of yourself, such as your economic status, your material possessions, or your status within your industry. Placing your self-worth into external factors results in you being at the mercy of other people's opinions that can change at any given time. And if they can change at any given time, so can your self-worth. Placing your self-worth into material possessions is dangerous for your state of mind because material possessions aren't permanent. They can get lost or stolen or damaged. And if you place your self-worth into something you own, the moment that you lose it, you've also lost your self-worth. Goals that are centered around attaining a material possession or some form of status may feel good once it's finally achieved, but the effect of it doesn't last very long because you become desensitized to it. It becomes the new normal for you. The satisfaction disappears, so to get it back, you just chase after the same goal again, but with a higher number attached to it. It's like a drug. Once you're used to getting high off of a certain amount, then you need higher doses of that same drug in order to achieve the same high.
Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need.
The most effective advertisements are the ones that can trigger an emotional response into the viewer, especially if it's an insecurity. And I'm sure you've noticed all of those internet marketing gurus that pop up before every single video that you watch that talk about get-rich-quick tactics using Lamborghinis and private jets to entice you into buying their products. If you feel insecure about your finances or feel like no one likes you, then an ad like this is very effective. They're using imagery of a luxurious lifestyle where the rich guy is accepted by a ton of people because he has lots of money, and it triggers an insecurity in you of what you feel you don't have, friends and money. So it's not the course that you're interested in buying. You're interested into buying into the lifestyle. So you end up buying that course and starting a business that you don't really care about, and you make the money that it promises you, and then you end up blowing it all on the luxurious items that you think will bring you acceptance from other people. But the vicious cycle of this type of behavior is that you start to ingrain your identity into these statuses. You want to be known as the rich guy or the guy with a ton of followers to people. So in order to maintain this identity, you start doing things that you normally wouldn't do in order to ensure that this identity stays afloat, because it's the identity that you've allowed to give you your self-worth.
We've all been raised on television to believe that one day we'd all be millionaires and movie gods and rock stars, but we won't. We're slowly learning that fact. And we're very, very pissed off.
If I were to reword this for modern times, it would be this. We've all been raised on social media to believe that one day we'd all be entrepreneurs and influencers and mumble rappers. I used to really like the idea of becoming a digital nomad and traveling through various countries and working off of my laptop and writing inspiring Instagram captions documenting my travels. But I quickly learned that I liked the idea of it a lot more than I actually enjoyed doing it. I think one of the things that makes traveling exciting for me is the fact that I don't travel that often. And if I traveled all the time, then it would start to lose its magic. And knowing myself, whenever I do things too consistently, then it starts to just feel like part of the job. But I originally had this dream because it triggered an insecurity that I had in my mind at the time. At the time, I was working on things that weren't really that exciting to me. So whenever I saw videos of people working on things that did look very exciting, it made me feel like I wasn't doing anything special. This is why lifestyle marketing is so so effective. It triggers an insecurity in you by showing you imagery of people that look very happy using a specific product or living a certain lifestyle. And the dangerous part of this is that it tricks you into believing that these things will make you happy. So you start to craft your goals around attaining this ideal level of happiness that was presented to you. But if it's not something that you actually enjoy, then the achievement of these goals is only going to bring you disappointment. What makes you happy and what makes goals satisfying is very subjective. Just because you see a lot of people that seem very happy doing the same activities or pursuing the same goals doesn't necessarily mean that it'll make you happy. They too might be people that were sold the idea that these things will make them happy, when in reality, they're probably just as clueless as you. So if you want the completion of your goals to be more meaningful, then you need to set ones that are based off of what you want out of life, and ones that grow you as a person, not your net worth. Instead of selling your services at the lowest market price, why not invest into your craft and your communication skills so that you can help make people's jobs and lives easier? And as a result, you are a person that people are willing to pay more money for, and the skills that you develop will carry over into other aspects of your life. Instead of trying to impress people with money or job titles, why not accept the fact that just like the rest of us, you are a flawed person. And as a result, you will make friends based off of your authenticity and not your social status. Self-development is a never-ending process. The only time that it'll ever end is when you die or when you stop trying. Creating goals that focus more on personal growth over personal gain gives you much more gratifying results. Creating goals where the end product is a greater version of yourself has a much greater impact on your finances, your relationships, and your self-worth. Take a look at your current goals and evaluate why you want to achieve them in the first place. Am I growing a business because I want to prove to people that I'm worth something? Or am I growing a business because I want to help improve the lives of the people who use my product? Am I pursuing a creative career because I want to be famous and loved? Or am I pursuing a creative career because it's how I enjoy expressing myself? The intention behind your goals says a lot about how you feel about yourself. Social status, possessions, and money is a very artificial way to grow your self-worth. Integrity, relationships, skills, and self-acceptance. These are things that can never be taken away from you. When things get tough and you lose everything, the person with no self-worth or no permanent skills will also lose their identity, the identity that was ingrained into their possessions and their status. A person with self-worth and skills is someone that will not lose themselves when the going gets tough. Their identity is built up from what's on the inside, and no one can ever take that away from you, making it that much easier for you to pick yourself up off the ground.